Hey everybody, I am back home. Thank God. So I have my nifty fart box, which is my wound vacuum, a wound vac. Does sound like flatulence, unfortunately. I had last year when I had it after the four surgeries in August. There's a local supermarket called BG's, and it's reasonably busy, but it's reasonably quiet. So any kind of noise that happens, everybody hears it. And this thing, every now and then, you'll hear the thing be like, make the noises. Weirdly sounds like something that's ungentlemanly like. And it did a particularly loud one in BG's. And I just sort of like looked around like I done it. And there was a lady there who just looked at me, shook her head, and walked the other way. It was like, it was me, but it wasn't. So I'm feeling great. I want to thank you guys for your prayers, your thoughts, all the kind things that you said. Um, this was literally best case scenario. They had with my left foot. That's the one that's the half foot, right? Lovingly call my hoof. Uh, it only has three of the bones. Yeah, three of the bones in it yet anymore because the two from the very first surgery 3 years ago, they had to remove the is your big toe is number one, and then you go two, three, four, five. The second and the third one, the toes and the metatarsals had to be completely removed back to the ankle joint. Uh, with only having three bones in there yet, you're sort of at the very limit of your foot still being potentially useful. I'm actually waiting for the. I'm trying to think what the name of it is, but it's like for, which I'll show you guys this as well since we're gonna have everything here. I have what is called a PICC line. It goes in from your upper arm over to your heart, and it has the IV fluids go in directly. So I'm on an oral antibiotic, but I'm also on this IV antibiotic that I do every 12 hours. So the infusion guy from WellSpan, Good Sam, is going to be here shortly, which is why I'm out on the porch. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video and talk about this a little bit. Then I'm back home, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Proud and true. It happens to everybody. But with those three bones, they had to cut the fifth metatarsal, which is the outer bone on that left foot, back to because you have like different joints, just like your fingers here. You have the smallest joint, the middle joint, and that joint. It's the same thing with your foot, and they had to cut out the top that would have connected with. Well, that one's gone. It'd been the second and maybe the third. I don't know how many bones are in there in the foot. I'd have to look at that. But it has that one last bone for the fifth metatarsal that the tendon's actually connected to. That was, if I lost that, the foot would basically be useless. Simply because there's not enough there because you have tendons on the one side of your foot that inside. I got to pause just quick here. All right, so that was all my infusion supplies for the IV antibiotics. I think there's some other stuff like they had to put an extension onto that because otherwise I can't reach with the right hand, and there's just no possible way to actually give myself the antibiotics. And they also have a saline solution that you got to flush the system before and after. It's a pretty simple thing to do, but it's keeping it safe because the wound, they weren't able to fully close it. So that's why I have the wound vac, because that winds up helping the tissue regranulate and regrow and cover everything up, and then hopefully we're good to go. But anyways, if you lose the tendons on the left side, on the outer side of the foot, there's nothing to compete with the right side of the foot, the inner part of the foot. So your foot would have the tendency to turn inwards. Obviously, it's not what we want. So I think next week they're going to wind up putting me. I've been doing what's called a conforming boot to this point. They're going to actually put me in a stronger boot, particularly just to try to protect that tendon, because everything is still there. He was able to save primarily everything that it was connected to, but maybe if that tendon doesn't do well, then say in a month and a half, 2 months, we go in to do some tendon work or take a tendon from somewhere else and put that there and then connect it to some of the other bones. But there's enough there yet that I can still function. My balance will be a little hinky, but overall it should be reasonably good. It's just a matter of letting this thing heal, which is probably going to take about a month until it's healed over. There's a lot more area to heal. It's a less of a weird one with my right foot where they had to take the second toe. It was sort of a more bizarro type area for that to heal, whereas this is sort of, a flat surface, if you will. A little deep, but it should fill in for the most part. My foot will just be even more weird, and my OnlyFans fans will enjoy that, who like the weirdo fit. I am kidding. I'm not a foot model anymore. Never was. But anyways, so I'm in a good place. My spirits are good. And once again, thank everybody because, you're in the hospital. I sort of thought originally I might be in the hospital for my birthday. This was a completely different side. A little more extreme of a surgery than I thought I was going to have around that time period. But I'm getting to go home and be with my family for Thanksgiving, which I'm excited about. I'm going to go over and be with some friends too as well, a little bit earlier because our Thanksgiving is going to be a couple hours later because my niece and nephew have to work to a certain time. So our normal time that we would start, it just isn't going to be possible. So I'm going to go over and spend some time with my friends who were actually just here. They're the individuals that run the merch store, Painted Squirrel. They were over here with their kids and they bought me a couple shirts and stuff like that. And it was really, really quite cool. They've been very, very good to me. I want to say thank you to the medical team, Dr. Yarger in particular, has really got me through what is a really, really tough thing and a tough time. And hopefully here we can start figuring things out to where this doesn't relapse again. And it's just some things I've got to look at and I've got to do with diet and things of that nature that I've got to change a little bit more. This was purely a freak thing. This didn't really have anything to do with that in particular. It's not that having a better diet and that type of stuff wouldn't be helpful. It would, but this purely happened just freakishness. Nobody could have really done anything to prevent it. It just was one of those things that it happens in life. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't, and it's about attitude. It's about how you choose to tackle these obstacles in life. You can either let them beat you or you can keep on going. And I'm not wearing my glasses because for whatever reason, which the anesthesiologist said they'd never really heard of this before, my vision, I don't know if you necessarily say it gets better, but if I'm reading like up close, like looking at my phone, I have to take my glasses off to be able to read. Now, if I'm watching TV at a distance, I have to put the glasses on so I can actually see like normal. It lasts about 2 weeks when I get put under, but I'm in that phase right now where it is what it is. So I got to figure out the videos that I'm going to try to put together. I got to do it in a way that I don't have to like read small stuff because some of the videos I have lined up are ones where I've got to read off of a information or like a history board that has the history on it. Like I have one for the Cornwall and Lebanon Railroad I'd like to do that was on a sign that's there in the Mount Gretna trails. I have the one in Schaeferstown that I want to do. I want to talk a little more in depth about some of the houses and some of the cool stuff about them to sort of fill that video out. And a couple other ones. But I have those information boards that I just, it's hard for me to read them right now just because of my eyesight's a little funky because whenever I get put under with the anesthesia Stegio, or how you pronounce that. It just does not work. Also found out I cannot say graham crackers. I always call them graham crappers. Now I can't even pronounce it the way I was always. Could I have some graham crappers? And then I can't remember. Uh, I take it partially for my stomach. Ginger ale. I really like ginger ale, diet ginger ale. I had some brain farts when I was in there. Maybe they gave me better drugs than I thought they had given me, but uh, going well. Didn't have anything out today video wise other than this. Mainly because this was the day there were a lot of stuff going on with being discharged. They had to do the wound vac change. They had to do a couple other things with IV type stuff, putting in the PICC line, that type of stuff. So, till all that was done and said, it winds out being a little bit of a nutty last couple days. But I want to try as much as I can over the next couple days to at least get out 2 shorts. And there's the fart. And a long video, because I probably have 7 or 8 videos still sitting there that I just need to put together. And it's like that. And I'm not like pushing myself. This is something I'm enjoying doing again. It was a sort of a blast the last couple of days putting these videos together and getting stuff out and having that consistency. Live filming, that's probably going to be a couple weeks, 3 weeks at least, until I'm able to do anything of substance. At least long form, or maybe I'll do long form, which is like 3-minute video, 4-minute videos for the long form videos, just because that's what I'm able to handle, because I can't be on my feet a whole lot, just strength wise, just being careful and not pushing myself. But I feel good. My spirits are good, which is an important part. There were a couple people in there that were my neighbors that were driving me a little nuts. The one guy just wasn't like, wouldn't stop, and it's just constant negativity and just. I finally had to request, I was like, I need to be out of this room or I'm going to strangle this guy, because he was just getting passive aggressive and nuts, and it was just, I had enough. But it's another one of those experiences, a couple of unique ones, like waking up in the middle of the surgery. They had to bring me out of the surgery because this cough that I have, it just started happening and they couldn't let that go on. So everybody, I think, was a little tense. And then I came out and they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I feel great." I'm fully awake. Whatever group of drugs they gave me, they were good. There was good stuff. I was giggling and happy, and it was a unique experience. It was a lot of fun. I don't want to do it again. Not just because I don't want to have another surgery, but also I don't want to wake up in the middle of a surgery again, because it was just bizarre. But it went well. Everything went really, really well, and we're back home, which I'm very, very thankful for, and all that. But so I'll probably be doing a bunch of videos that'll be like audio work, because I've talked about this a couple times last couple videos. I want to try to start getting the heroines of hometown history going again, tales of hometown history, hometown history's greatest inventions, and there's a couple other ones as well. So we're gonna probably haunted history. I want to do that for at least another 2-3 weeks. I got a number of really, really good stories, and then we'll start that up mid-January, end of January again, just because. They have a lot of really, really good stuff. But we'll start the Yuletide tales, including the Christmas traditions, where some of them come from. Coming up probably second week of December, somewhere in there. And depending on where I'm at, I may try to do some of these Christmas light type videos as well. I think that'll be something that'll be fun. I got a couple of them last year, like 1 or 2, maybe 3. But I'll get some more of those. But I am tired. I am going to put this video together and put it up. And then I am going to go to bed and get ready for a big day tomorrow. And I want to wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving. And there won't be any videos up tomorrow. I'm just not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to take the day off completely. Go see my mom. see my friends, and then go over to the family gathering and go from there. But hopefully by Friday again, I'll figure out which video I want to do next, because I got a couple different ones that I'd like to do. But uh, thank you once again for continuing on this journey with me, because it really does, it means a lot. You guys have kept me going. This channel has been very, very good for me. It's provided me with not only an avenue for my creativity, but also giving me purpose. It sounds silly, but it really has been a blast. It enabled me to be able to meet some really awesome people, be able to work with a number of great groups, which I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I'm going to be working with Visit Lebanon Valley. I did that interview with two of the ladies at the Isaac Meyer homestead. A gentleman from there contacted me. I'm going to be getting together with them and probably doing a video series that's put towards them. It's going to have, the Visit Lebanon Valley before and after. So it's going to be less hometown historian and more going out to these different really neat sites in the Lebanon Valley that are worth a visit. And also, the first one I want to do is the Franklin House, because it's got a really cool, unique history there. Being that they had a different name when it first opened, its connection to Alexander Schaefer, the founder of the town, and also the fact that you have Market Square right there, and the significance of that square, and its significance in connection with the different unique places in the mid 1700s at that time. It really was a happening place, because they're really in that town, Heidelberg, at the time, there was really not much there. But then it was a crossroads in these two east, west, and north, south roads. And right there is where the Franklin House is. But that'll be the first one that I do. Talk about the history, talk about its connection with that market square and the significance thereof, and then the different names and that type of stuff. It's really, really a neat place. But I'd like to do a bunch of that stuff because it helps the local tourism. I'm able to work with a really great organization. They want me to work on, I've talked about this before, the African Americans Trails of History. They do the town, I think they're called heritage trails, but it basically takes you through towns like Myerstown, Palmyra, Jonestown, Lebanon, and all the really significant architectural buildings and some of the history in the area. And that was basically what the Myerstown one's partially going to be based off of when I do the walking tours, because it's a walking or even a driving tour that they have in a lot of these places. It's going to be based partially off of that, to be able to go and look at these history. Now, the walking tours in Myerstown are going to be very much oriented towards a period of time, and specifically, like I talked about before, the trolley days is something I think would be very, very cool. If I would have been able to do this walking tour, which obviously I can't, and they've canceled that, I wanted to do it dressed up in Victorian garb for what it would have been like in the area, and then talking whatever voice mannerisms they would have had at that time, and really sell it as a living history, and take people around that Victorian era of the town of Myerstown and talk about what Christmas would have been like in that Victorian era. I think it would have been extraordinary, and it will be extraordinary, because we will be doing that with the Isaac Meyer Homestead and with Myerstown Rec Board, two great organizations that I'm very proud to be connected to and to be working with here in the future, along with several other organizations that I'll be working with as well, which was the purpose of the channel in the get-go. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for those of you that have been with the channel from the very beginning. Thank you to those who've come in some point, wherever. This channel really would not be what it is without you all. And it has been fantastic taking this journey with you guys and to continue on this journey. They always talk about, there's times in life where you're sort of focused forward and you forget to look aside of you and behind you. And, you think that you're alone. But then when you realize, you take a pause and look to either side, you realize there's a whole slew of people that are there supporting you and helping you through. And you guys have certainly been that. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And as always, we'll see you all about town.